Welcome to the 13 Weeks to Diet Freedom program. I'm Dietitian Bert, and I want to give you an introduction to what this is all about. The 13 Week to Diet Freedom program is a program that I've developed over almost 10 years, working in psychiatric facilities, working with more than 2,000 patients one-on-one. And it's a framework that doesn't just focus on diet. I also studied psychology. So I studied both fields, psychology and dietetics. And a lot of times we go on a diet and 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, we're losing some weight. Then what happens? We give up and all that weight comes back on again. And then we do the same again and the same again. So the question I have there for you is, why does diet never succeed? Why do we keep failing every time we want to go on a diet? Maybe it's because we're not focusing on the real reason why and instead of what. Now, the 13 weeks, every week, I focus on one habit. It's an ebook that I've designed. And why an ebook? Because it makes it easier and easier accessible. It works on everything. It's a PDF. There's links in it. There's recipes. There's videos. There's worksheets in it. Every week, we focus on one single habit. And that little habit, every morning we read 2 or 3 or 4 pages that helps us think deeper. What is the psychology behind this? What is my coping mechanisms? What is my habits around this? And then it also gives us time to practice that habit. And then the next day we go a bit deeper and we think deeper. And that's the thing. Losing weight isn't so much about the diet. It's about developing the skills you need in order to lose the weight and keep that weight off. And that's why, psychologically, the brain does not like change. Change is hard. So the more things you try to change in one single week, the more difficult it becomes, the more resistance there is. And that is what leads us to that point we give up, we quit, and we keep repeating that cycle. So every week, we just focus on one habit. Then the next week, we focus on the next habit. And what are some of these habits? Go down on this page. Go look. I put every single habit there. But it isn't just about food. It's about finding your why. There's about proteins, carbs, fats, sleep, stress management, your fitness mission statement. It's not just about the food aspect. Yes, it does incorporate everything food, but at the same time, it addresses the stress of life, coping with it, understanding our body cues, getting a fitness mission statement, understanding our why. Why do we want to become healthier? And then every week, we focus on that one habit. We dive a little bit deeper. We understand the psychology. We understand how we see it. And then we practice it. And then the second part of this guide is the nutritional blueprint. That I specifically make for you. That is where I teach you the proteins, the carbs, the fats. And I calculate for you exactly how much you need of that food in order to achieve your goal. And no, you don't need a scale. I teach you how to use your hand. Why I love hands. They're proportional to body size. The batteries can't die and you can't lose it. And if you can't find your hand, please seek medical attention because something went wrong tremendously. Now, how we use the hands. The palms, the roundness and the thickness of the palm is proteins. The cup hand, carbohydrates. The thumb, fats. The fist, fruits or vegetables. Then I calculate specifically for you how much of that you need per day. As an example, let's say you need 6 pounds of protein per day, 5 thumbs of fat, 7 fists of fruits or vegetables, and 5 cup hands of carbs. Okay, that creates now the framework of how much you need per day, not per meal. And then also, what proteins? Well, I teach you from the worst choices to the best choices. And then carbohydrates, all these things the same. I teach you from the worst choices to the best choices because the choices has to be yours. A lot of times we're like children. Tell me what I have to do and I don't want to do it. Tell me what I cannot do and that's exactly what I want to do. That's why it's not about me telling you what you have to do. It's about me educating you, teaching you to understand what choices to make. Because then guess what? You make the choices. And if you make the choices, you are more likely to keep going at it. But also you understood why you made the choices. And now back to the hands and everything, all these portions I mentioned. That is the amount you need per day, not per meal. That creates the flexibility. If I know how much I need to eat for the whole day, okay, if I don't have breakfast today, I can adjust. If I go to a restaurant with friends, guess what? I can see how much food is on that plate, so I can still calculate that when I go home. Now I know how much to eat for dinner. And that's the thing. With a 13-week to Diet Freedom ebook, which is about 440 pages long, plus the nutritional blueprint, that creates the foundation for you to start working on. This isn't a quick fix. This is a framework that I've been using for nearly 10 years now with my patients. And it's a framework on focusing on one thing at a time, one step at a time. Because the progress you want is found in the little things adding up to become the big things. So don't expect this to be a quick fix where you lose 10 kilograms in 5 weeks or anything. This is a framework where you can lose the weight, you can keep the weight off, and more importantly, you become healthier in a sustainable way. I know, I've been there myself. 14 years ago, I was 118 kilograms. I've walked this path where I'm now 68, 69 kilograms hovering there. It's about building the habits that get you there. That's why I've created this framework. So go down on this page, read everything I've put there, but just know you deserve better. Don't let another chance go by where you go on a crash diet and you keep on failing. Rather now, take the time to actually do something that's not the fastest, but it gets you the results you want, and it's the results that keep there. It's not about that yo-yo dieting. You deserve to break free from this whole diet culture and yo-yo dieting. I see every week how my patients in the rehab centers and psychiatric hospitals are depleted with always trying but never getting anywhere. Maybe it's time to try something different. And if you have any questions, don't be shy to reach out to me. My email details are below. Check on my socials. You can DM me on Instagram, send me a WhatsApp message. But just know, if you don't try and you don't start small and gradually build and change habits, you will never get where you want to get. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. And as always, what I end on, be 1% better today than you were yesterday.